My girlfriend said, "I need space, don't contact me." I responded, "All right." Then I posted the vacation pics I found of her with another man, tagging his wife. Suddenly, my phone was blowing up with their panicked calls. Original post I 32M, let's call me Jonathan. I'm still reeling from the sheer audacity. It's actually been a full week since I took action and everything exploded. But the whole saga really began about 3 weeks ago now. That's when my girlfriend, Nicole, 29F, hit me with the "I need space" bombshell. Via text, of course. We'd been together 3 years, living in my house, my name, my mortgage, for the last 18 months. Things felt a bit distant, sure, but I thought it was just work stress on her end. The text came on a Saturday morning. "Nicole, hey. Things are feeling really overwhelming for me lately. I think I need some space to myself, to just breathe and figure things out. Please don't contact me for a bit. I'll reach out when I'm ready. Hope you understand." Space. Never a good sign, but I'm a rational guy. Me, "All right, Nicole, I understand. Take the time you need." Then radio silence, which she asked for. The week that followed her text was a blur of confusion and hurt. I replayed everything, wondering what I'd missed. Fast forward to Friday, February 7th, a week before I'm writing this initial post. I was mindlessly scrolling Facebook and a post from a mutual acquaintance pops up, a surprise romantic getaway album. And there's Nicole, looking far too happy and cozy with Brandon, 35M, a married colleague of hers. Champagne, hand-holding on the beach, the works. The dates lined up perfectly with her need for space. My stomach churned. Space was a cover for a secret trip with a married man. She hadn't just lied, she'd orchestrated this, expecting me to be none the wiser. The initial sting of betrayal quickly morphed into a cold, calculated anger. She wanted a consequence-free fling, keeping me as her backup plan in my own home. No, not happening. "You want space, Nicole?" Granted. And Brandon's wife, Rachel? A lovely woman who deserved to know about these spontaneous adventures. So, Saturday morning, February 8th, I got to work. I saved the most damning photos. The hotel room selfie, the beach hand-holding, a candlelit dinner shot where his arm was way too familiar. Undeniable. I crafted a new public Facebook post. Short, sharp, to the point. "Heard you needed space, Nicole. Looks like you found it. Hope it was worth it. Oh, and Rachel, tag Brand's wife, thought you might want to see how your husband Brandon spends his business trips. Spontaneous adventures, soul connections, truth hurts." Attach the photos. Every single one. That immediate aftermath last week was insane. My phone went into meltdown about 30 minutes after that post went live. Then I blocked Nicole on all platforms. Phone, social media, everything. And I waited. Didn't have to wait long for the chaos to erupt. Update 1. My phone went into meltdown about 30 minutes after that post went live on Feb 8th. Non-stop calls, texts, DMs from numbers I didn't recognize. It was glorious chaos. First, Brandon. Pure panic. "Brandon. Jonathan. What the heck? Take that down. Now you have no idea what you're doing." Jonathan. "I'm serious. This is my life. My marriage. Take it down. Nicole said you were basically over. Said you wouldn't care." So Nicole was already spinning tales for her affair partner. Noted. I didn't answer. Then, Nicole. The terror in her voice was a symphony. "Jonathan, what did you do? Are you insane? You've ruined everything." Rachel called me screaming. "Brandon is freaking out. Delete that post right now and tell everyone it was a joke." Nicole, another voicemail, now with tears. "Please, Jonathan, please. My job. Brandon's job. His kids. You have to fix this. I'll do anything." Anything. The desperation was palpable, but the entitlement still shone through. The expectation that I'd clean up her mess. Next, the flying monkeys. Nicole's BFF Samantha, always superficial. "Jonathan, that was a really rotten thing to do. Nicole is a mess. People make mistakes, taking it public and dragging Rachel into it. Low blow. Me, a mistake is forgetting milk, Samantha. A planned vacation with a married man while lying to me is betrayal. Rachel deserved to know. Period." Then Nicole's older sister, Pamela, 33F, who always treated Nicole like a saint. "Jonathan, I cannot believe your cruelty. Nicole is heartbroken. Brandon's wife is going ballistic. You've potentially destroyed lives. Nicole told me you two were having problems. This is how you react?" Me. Nicole wasn't figuring things out. She was having an affair. My reaction is to not be a doormat. Yes, I tagged Rachel. She deserved the truth. Blocked. The beauty was I didn't have to lift another finger. The truth was out. Their panic was the direct result of their actions seeing daylight. Rachel, Brandon's wife, sent a brief, polite DM. Thank you. I don't know all the details from your side, but the pictures speak for themselves. I appreciate you letting me know. I replied, I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Rachel. You deserve better. The Facebook post went viral locally. Nicole and Brandon were getting roasted. And Nicole? Still technically has all her stuff at my house. She'd asked for no contact, and I've honored that. No outreach from my end. Just that one very public mic drop. She's been trying to reach me from burner numbers, alternating between begging and vague threats. Lady, you detonated your own life. I changed the locks on Monday, Feb 10th. Simple. Effective. She hasn't tried to come back yet. Probably holed up somewhere, attempting damage control. Good luck with that. Let's see what happens when she finally surfaces for her belongings, or when Rachel makes her next move. This isn't over. Update 2. The past couple of weeks have been a masterclass in escalating entitlement from Nicole and her enablers, but the consequences are hitting them hard. The attempted siege, so about 5 days after the post, which was Saturday, Feb 8th, on Thursday evening, February 13th, my doorbell camera pings. It's Nicole, looking like she's been through a ringer. Tries her old key. No dice. Tries the smart lock. Access denied. Then the banging starts, full-on pounding. Nicole, yelling through the door. Jonathan, I know you're in there. Open this door. This is my home too. I have rights. I watched on the camera, silent. Her rights to my solely owned house vanished with her space trip. After more yelling and some tears, her phone comes out. Minutes later, a car pulls up. Pamela and their mother, Carolyn 60F, who views Nicole as a flawless angel. Carolyn. Jonathan, open this door immediately. You can't lock our Nicole out. She has belongings in there. This is cruel. Pamela, we're calling the police if you don't open up. This is harassment. Police? For changing locks on my own house after my non-resident girlfriend cheated? Be my guest. I stayed silent. They banged and yelled for another 10 minutes. Nicole wailing dramatically. Quite the show for the cul-de-sac. Eventually, they retreated, Carolyn practically dragging Nicole away. The smear and dirty tricks. Next, the smear campaign kicked into high gear. Mutual acquaintances started contacting me, fed sob stories by Nicole's camp. Heard you threw Nicole out with nothing. She says you were controlling and punished her for wanting independence. Brandon's wife is psycho. Nicole was just a supportive friend. You twisted it. The mental acrobatics were impressive. Nicole, the victim. Brandon, the misunderstood. Rachel, the psycho. Me, the villain. I gave a few key people the concise truth with a link to the post. Most got it. Then came the nasty stuff. First, a call from my boss. An anonymous party emailed HR claiming I was unstable, prone to violent outbursts, and creating a hostile environment by publicly harassing a colleague, Brandon. They even implied I might misuse sensitive company data. Thankfully, my boss knows me. We chatted, I explained, showed him Rachel's DM. HR did a cursory interview and it died. But the attempt to screw with my job? Desperate. Second, someone reported my car abandoned in front of my own house. An orange sticker. Cleared it up with a quick call, but still. Petty. Third, the pièce de résistance. Nicole, via Carolyn, demanded her share of the house. Carolyn left a voicemail claiming Nicole invested emotionally and did household upkeep. She sometimes bought bread, I paid the mortgage and all bills. So she was owed $50,000 for pain and suffering and loss of residence. I laughed and saved the voicemail. The Revenge Phase 2 Legal Edition. Their entitlement and dirty tricks pushed me. It was time for a more robust response. I hired a sharp lawyer. Step 1. Cease and desist. We fired off a C&D to Nicole, Pamela, and Carolyn. It detailed their harassment, defamation, and warned that further contact or attempts to damage my reputation property would result in immediate legal action, including damages and a restraining order. We attached their own texts and voicemails. Step 2. The belonging standoff. Nicole, through Carolyn, already breaching the C&D, demanded access to get her things. My lawyer's reply, Miss can provide a list of personal belongings. Mr. Jonathan's last name will pack them. A third party, not family, can collect them from the curb at an appointed time. No entry. Items not claimed in 7 days will be disposed of. The outrage from Carolyn was apparently epic. He can't do that. What if he breaks her things? My lawyer's cool response? Provide the list. Step 3. The knockout. Brandon and Rachel. Rachel filed for divorce, naming Nicole for adultery. Public record. My lawyer formally offered Rachel's lawyer my cooperation and evidence. Nicole's space text, the post, her panicked voicemails, to counter any lies Brandon might tell in court. Brandon was trying to claim he was the victim. My evidence would vaporize that defense. The fallout for Nicole and Brandon is biblical. Brandon's reportedly on his brother's couch, career torched. Their conservative company was not amused by the scandal, and Rachel is taking him to the cleaners. Nicole, unemployable in her field locally. Back with Carolyn, who's now also under a C&D. The $50 demand vanished. They wanted war. They got a precision strike. Their entitlement bubble burst. Watching it happen? Truly priceless. Final update. It's been a few months now since the last barrage. The cease and desist, backed by the threat of actual legal teeth, worked like a charm. Silence. Sweet, beautiful silence. The great stuff purge. Nicole eventually sent a list of her belongings via Carolyn. Still pushing it, but my lawyer just documented it. It was ridiculously long, including things I'd bought for the house years before her. My lawyer sent back a revised list of items reasonably considered Miss Nicole's last name's personal property. I boxed it all. It was cathartic. Every cheap knick-knack, every self-help book on finding your truth, the irony was delicious. I might have accidentally damaged a few of her more annoying inspirational quote plaques. Whoops, she hired a man with a van. They came on a Saturday. I left the boxes on the driveway. Watched from my window. Nicole was a no-show. Pamela supervised from her car, looking like she'd sucked a lemon. Good. The aftermath for the villains. Rachel's divorce from Brandon is proceeding. Apparently my evidence was indeed helpful in her securing a very favorable interim settlement. Brandon is financially wrecked, reputationally ruined. Last I heard, he fled the state to live with his parents. Poetic justice. Nicole, oh sweet Nicole. Consequences hit her hard. Jobless, disgraced, living with mommy. Her attempts to play the victim online blew up once the affair details and Rachel's divorce filings became common knowledge. She deleted most of her social media. Her friends, like Samantha, bailed when she became a broke, unemployed pariah. Misery doesn't love company when that company offers no benefits. A mutual acquaintance told me Nicole actually complained that I should have warned her about the severity of the consequences. The sheer, unadulterated audacity. As if her actions were fine and only my reaction was the issue. Some people are incapable of self-reflection. My life now, peaceful. The house feels like mine again. I've been redecorating, purging her lingering influence. It feels good. Some of Nicole's extended family sent me messages about forgiveness. Ignored. They didn't know the full story of her deceit and subsequent harassment. The true revenge wasn't just the Facebook post. It was every methodical step afterwards, changing the locks, ignoring the hysterics, the cold legal letter that muzzled them. Watching them realize their usual tactics, manipulation, tears, victimhood, were useless against me. They expected drama. I gave them logic and consequences. I didn't set out to destroy lives. I protected my peace and exposed a betrayal. They wrecked their own lives with their choices and their refusal to accept responsibility. The financial ruin, social ostracism, career implosions, that was their own doing. I just pulled back the curtain, and yes, tagging Brandon's wife, knowing it would ignite his world too. That was specifically for every time Nicole had subtly belittled me, made me feel inadequate, all while she was plotting her adventures. That tag was the direct consequence of their joint betrayal. Zero regrets. They thought I was a doormat. They found out I'm a strategist. I sleep very well. Good riddance to Nicole, Brandon, and all their enablers. They got everything they truly deserved.